A scorching hot day and evening here in Chicago as the Cubs have returned for a 10-game homestand. In fact, 23 of their next 33 will be inside the friendly confines, and we're set for Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet. Tonight, the Cubs host the San Diego Padres. Great to have you with us. Wind blowing straight out. Jim DeShays and Len Casper with you. Both these teams have been in sell mode. The Padres with a trade today. We'll get to that in a second. But the Cubs with a plethora of roster moves as well.
Well, Emilio Bonifacio healthy coming off the disabled list. Arismendi Alcantara, since coming to the big leagues, has performed well. That means Darwin Barney has been designated for assignment. Kyle Hendricks gets called up to make the start today. That means Zach Roskup, the left-hander, has been optioned back to AAA Iowa.
And Tsuyoshi Wada will start tomorrow, so the Cubs will have to make yet another roster move before Game 2. The Padres traded their third baseman today to the Yankees, Chase Headley.
Yeah, they've already moved Houston Street. Rumors are that they'll make further deals. Chase Headley 2 years ago led the National League in RBIs, finished 5th in MVP, but he's dropped off significantly the last 2 years. You see his numbers this year, 229 with only 7 home runs. They pick up Yangervis Solarte from the Yankees, who was really good for them early in the year.
Solarte not in the Padres lineup, but he's on that card off the bench. Anthony Rizzo, the reigning National League Player of the Week. And it'll be Kyle Hendricks' second Major League start and his Wrigley Field debut when we return.
Brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. AT&T Uverse. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PIC-ATT. Mobilizing your world. And by Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com.
Back here at beautiful Wrigley Field, it is really hot. Feels like we brought Arizona back to the Midwest, at least for tonight. Should cool off quite a bit here over the next few days, but Kyle Hendricks will try to keep the ball down tonight with the wind blowing very hard straight out to center field. Now the Padres starting lineup, man, if they struggled to score runs, averaging under 3 runs per game, they pretty much are last in the majors in every offensive category. Will Venable will be the leadoff man. Alexi Amaristas at short. They've got a lot of infielders on the disabled list. Seth Smith had a very good year. Yasmani Grandal, the catchers, homered in 2 straight. Chris Nelson at third with Chase Headley now gone. Gobert is from the area. More on him later. Chris Denorfia in right. Brooks Conrad at second. And the pitcher, Eric Stoltz, hits 9th.
He provides the Cubs defense, and it looks like this tonight. Lake, Alcantara, Ruggiano, left, center, right. Infield third to first. We go Olt, Castro, Bonifacio, and Rizzo. Wellington Castillo behind the plate. Our Lexus starting pitcher, the rookie, Kyle Hendricks, makes his second big league start.
And he's ready to work, and we are underway. A strike called on Will Venable.
Pitched really well in that start against the Reds. Gave up 3 runs in the first inning, then settled in. It was a real tight zone early. Had some tough luck, but really battled. It was an impressive outing for him. Command and control guy.
Fouled that one off himself.
So, fastball is kind of 88 to 91. He's not going to throw it by you very often unless you're sitting on that changeup, which is probably a pretty good idea because he's got a real good changeup. He also has a cut fastball, a curveball. And you mentioned keeping the ball in the ballpark. So 2 things tonight: keeping it in the ballpark, that didn't feel good, and an economy of pitches. Tough night to pitch in this heat and humidity.
Up and in on Venable, 89 sweltering degrees with a southwest wind. At only 8 miles an hour, but looking at the flags, it has been gusting at times. Here it is. Swing and a miss. Like the changeup. Hendricks' best pitch.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Bud Black has loaded his lineup with left-handed bats tonight. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 lefties plus 2 switch hitters in the lineup, and I really think that plays to Hendricks' strength. This changeup fading down and away to left-handed hitters is one heck of a weapon.
Padres trying to snap, or the Cubs rather, trying to snap a 5-game losing streak. Sinker misses on Alexi Amarista. The Padres are in 3rd in the National League West, but they're 11.5 games out, 43 and 55. And a base hit grounded into left by Amarista. JD, their opening day outfield: 1st to 3rd, Alonso, Jerko, Cabrera, and Headley. 3 of the 4 on the DL, and the 4th guy just got traded. So a lot of changes for this Padres club.
Yeah, they are, one, underachieving. They weren't that bad last year. They're a team that plays in that big ballpark, so it's hard to generate offense there, but they've been just woeful this season. Their pitching has been good, especially the next 2 guys we'll see in this series have been really throwing the ball well. Ian Kennedy and the All-Star Tyson Ross.
You're searching for a permanent general manager after Josh Burns was fired a month ago. Saw their manager, Bud Black. They've had a lot of continuity in the dugout, but not in that GM chair. The pitch to Seth Smith. He was thinking about a bunt against the shift. Cubs basically have nobody over there to guard against it at third base as they shift against Smith. Pat Hoberg back at the plate. Todd Titchener, Ron Kulpa, Ed Hickox around the bases.
Smith, their best home run threat on a day that the wind is blowing out at Wrigley. I'm guessing Bud Black wants him swinging the bat.
Yeah, you would think so. Speaking of the Rockies, we'll see them next week, and then on the next trip we may not see Troy Tulowitzki at all. He just went on the DL. That's outside. It's 2-0.
Aside from Seth Smith, this entire club pretty much in a team-wide year-long slump.
Yeah, they've been historically bad, and obviously the run-scoring environment has changed quite a bit the past few years, so teams are not scoring as many runs as they once did, but they're averaging 2.97 runs per game. As a team, they're hitting 215.
It's like the dead ball era.
A great piece in the New York Times recently by Benjamin Hoffman. The Yankees in 1968 hit 214. Nobody else has hit that low since. That was right before they lowered the pitcher's mound.
Yeah, that was the year of the pitcher. That's when Gibson had the 1.12 ERA.
Swing and a miss, 2-2.
Yeah, this is really going to be tough for these hitters. First time seeing Hendricks, first time through the lineup. Because even though you're told this kid's got a good changeup, it's very difficult to see it out of his hand. There are the numbers: last. In all those categories, they have 6 of the bottom 14 hitters in the league in terms of OPS among hitters with at least 200 plate appearances.
So they're 215. If they can find a way to hit lower than 214, It'll be the lowest team batting average since the 1910 White Sox, who hit .210.
Is that the hitless wonders?
It must have been.
One of those White Sox teams way back in the day went to the World Series hitting for a very low average. Yeah, well, so they've got something to shoot for, is what you're saying. Reason to come to the ballpark every day.
They do pitch. They don't score much. They don't give up much. 2-2 misses. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Smith.
1906, White Sox were the hitless wonders.
Here they beat the Cubs in the World Series.
Well, this guy's put up good numbers. He was really good against the Cubs in the series out in San Diego earlier this year. Kid behind him, Grandal, has been swinging it well lately.
Looks like Castillo wants the changeup. There goes Amarista. The pitch is low, ball 4, no throw made. Grandal's a switch hitter. And homered in each of the final 2 games of that series against the Mets over the weekend. Hendricks, 24 years old. Cubs got him from the Rangers final day of July in 2012, along with Christian Villanueva, the corner infielder, for Ryan Dempster in return. Kyle was last year's Cubs minor league pitcher of the year. Not a big surprise. Baseball America said he had the best changeup in the system going into this season.
Ability to command all of his pitches. You need to step off. Marista dancing around out there. Hendricks, an 8th round pick by the Rangers out of Dartmouth, 2011. Just a little guy with a lot of energy. And make sure he stops.
Called strike 3. Backdoored him with the breaking ball. 2 down.
We got a pitcher's pitch call on the fastball there. You see at the bottom of the knees for strike 1, and now backdoor breaking ball off the outside edge for strike 3. That's a real good early sign for Hendricks, because he's a guy with his command can do a lot of work around the margins.
Now Chris Nelson getting the nod at third. Now Hervé Solarte, coming over from the Yankees, is expected to be available at some point tonight. Not sure if he's actually in the ballpark yet after being acquired from the Yankees, and a strike called. Just Nelson's 4th game with the Padres. He's 4 for 10. You saw his numbers at AAA. Came up with the Rockies, 3 different teams last year. And the right-hander on an 0-1. It's outside. Castillo thought about firing to first. See that number 19 patch on the left chest above the San Diego in honor of the late Tony Gwynn. Swing and a miss. They lost Jerry Coleman over the winter. A longtime broadcaster. You see the star with the JC on their right sleeve. Back to the mound. So Hendricks dealing with some traffic like he did in his major league debut, but tonight he gets out of it with no runs. Cubs are coming up when we come back. gets a hit. Benny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to JDRF. And the Cubs lineup at the top. Good to see Emilio Bonifacio back. Remember, he strained his oblique on that swing on June 12th in Pittsburgh. Arismendi Alcantara is in center. Rizzo, another award for Anthony. More on that coming up. Starlin Castro in the cleanup spot. It's Ruggiano in right. Castillo back of the plate. Lake and Alt struggling, but getting some at-bats against the lefty tonight with Hendricks batting 9th.
Here's your key defense for the Padres. Smith, Venable, and Norfield left, center, right. Boy, it's a different look in the infield, as Len mentioned at the top of the inning. Nelson at third. Amarista, utility guy at short. Conrad and Gobert on the right side. Grandal behind the plate. Lex is starting pitcher for the Friars. His 34-year-old left-hander Eric Stultz. He's 3-11 with a 4.98 earned run average.
15th rounder, the Dodgers, back in 2002. Born in Plymouth, Indiana.
1-5 lifetime against the Cubs with an ERA of 5.15. 0-3 here at Wrigley with a 5.75.
Played 2 sports at Bethel College. Baseball and basketball.
And his game is much like Hendricks. It's about finesse and location.
There's a strike on the switch hitting Bonifacio. It's 2-1 on him.
Fastball will just hover in the high 80s. Good change up, slider, and a big slow curveball.
2-2. Sounds like Alcantara is going to play a little more center than second moving forward. They try to get him comfortable at another position. But you have 2 pretty similar players here at the top. Guys with speed who can switch hit, play multiple positions.
Yeah, Bonifacio can get his at-bats at second, at center. He can go play third base for you.
That one drilled into the left field corner. It is a fair ball. Welcome back, Emilio Bonifacio. He thought about heading to third, but decided to stay at second. Kind of slipped on the bag. Well, maybe he'll come off the DL and be as hot as he was to start the season. What was he, like 11 for 16?
Exactly what I was thinking. Yeah. Well, his fastball has a little cutting action down and in on him, and he just clears the front side and whacks it into the left field corner. Yeah, he tore apart Pittsburgh pitching there that first week of the season. Swung it well on his rehab assignment. Slammed on the brakes. Good idea. Nobody out. No need to gamble.
Here's Alcantara. Actually, it looked like he missed second completely. That might be ultimately why he stopped. And the second base umpire, Ron Culpa, was staring right at the play.
Fresh off the DL, you can't be expected to remember to touch all the bases. Yeah. Minor detail.
Look out. That goes helicoptering over the dugout. Well, it's hot, you know. Might lose your grip on a day like this. You did the same thing with your microphone before the open. It happens.
You could lose your grip in a lot of ways on a day like today. So 11 at bats as a right-handed hitter so far this year. The scouting report on Alcantara when down in the minor leagues was that he was really good from both sides of the plate and had power from both sides of the plate. Not necessarily hitting a bunch of home runs, but extra base power.
Mentioned the Padres, they can pitch a 3.15 staff ERA, 4th among all major league teams. But they're 12 games under because they just have not been able to score enough runs. Kind of team, if you feel like, well, if you get 3 or 4 runs, you're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, especially get them down early, right? Club that's pressing, having a hard time scoring runs. They have a major league best 2.32 ERA in the month of July. And despite that, just 7-8 here over those 15 ball games. Cubs kind of going the opposite direction. They're scoring runs, but the pitching's gone south on them.
Outside, it's 2-2 with Rizzo on deck.
This is at least a 4 t-shirt game for a pitcher. Every other inning, you're peeling off that undershirt and throwing on a dry one.
Fastball missed inside, 3-2. Well, a couple of starting pitchers who you would call finesse guys are going to have to hit their spots tonight. The wind blowing straight out.
Stokes doesn't walk many. Only 23 free passes issued by him this year, just under 100 innings. There's one.
He just walked Alcantara, so 2 on with nobody out for Anthony Rizzo.
First baseman, number 44, Anthony Rizzo.
He's tied his career high with 23 home runs, which he set last year. And pretty short week in the National League, 3 games, but it was enough for him to win the Player of the Week.
Somebody had to be the best player over the weekend.
I'd say he earned it with the 3 home runs, the 5 hits, and the circus catch and foul ground on Sunday. Asked him about it today. He said he knew the rule, and if you fall completely out of play, the runners can advance. And it was early enough in the game. But hey, next pitch could have been a home run. So he wanted to take the out.
Well, plus when you're pursuing that ball, you don't know that you're going to end up in the dugout or out of play.
Lows never stop improving. Rizzo coming off his first All-Star appearance and certainly building on that. Kick and the pitch. It's low and outside, and it's 2-0.
All 3 of his home runs in Arizona, absolute bombs. He doesn't hit many cheap ones. Dangerous pitch here for Stoltz in the early going.
Check out this catch. It actually led to the go-ahead run for the Diamondbacks. I think ideally there, and again, you're not thinking I'm going to fall over the railing. Ideally there, you've got a teammate to kind of keep you in play. But as you saw, John Baker kind of got caught in no man's land and thought about covering home plate. He said, yeah, I made the throw. It was a courtesy throw, but he knew once he tumbled out of play that it was a dead ball. Two and two. Is into tonight, tied with Giancarlo Stanton among National League hitters with the 23 home runs. Troy Tulowitzki with 21, but as I mentioned, he just was placed on the disabled list with a hip flexor injury.
Just what the Rockies needed.
Right.
They've lost 23 out of 27 or something like that. It's been real ugly. Stoltz, he doesn't have put you away stuff. It's a real battle for him to finish off a tough hitter. This is what happened on May 22nd. Coming into the beach out there. Stay patient when you face a guy like Stoltz.
With a fastball, and he got it by him.
His heater is his change of pace in many ways. Change up, slow curve, slow, 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 and then an elevated fastball right over the heart of the plate. Gets by him. Nice execution by the lefty.
Well, that is out number one. Now another all-star, Starlin Castro, tied with Rizzo for the team lead with 53 RBIs. On the outside corner. Next one on the way, just missed.
Nice to have the speed at the top of the order that the Cubs have now with Bonifacio and Alcantara. Fun to watch them run around the bases if Castro is able to find a gap or hit one down into one of the corners. Make a pitcher think a little bit too. Starlin just 226 here in the month of July. He has not gone deep this month.
I see what you're doing. A great night to say it too. The wind blowing out.
Might say he's
Sneaky
due.
Smart, Mr. Deshays. 2-1.
Schultz has allowed 19 home runs. Third most in the NL. See if he tries to sneak a heater by Castro like he did with Rizzo.
Double, a walk, and a strikeout here in the bottom of the first. 2-2 on Castro. Pitch number 24 from Stoltz is on the way, and it's high.
Yeah, the high heater, just not close enough to get Castro to bite.
Well, do you send the runners here?
I would, yes.
Yeah, we got good speed. Out of a double play, they're not running, and that ball is lined foul.
Well, yeah, probably the thinking by not sending the runners there for Renteria is that he's not an extreme ground ball pitcher. That and two, Castro, certain hitters get a little jumpy with runners on the move, so maybe you don't want to put Castro in that position where he gets a little jumpy and goes out of the strike zone.
This time they're going, and the pitch is low. He's walked a couple here in the inning. Early trip to the mound for Darren Balsley, their pitching coach.
Well, we talked about it last half. Keep the ball in the ballpark and be economical. The keys for pitching on a night like tonight. So far, a lot of work for Stoltz. 26 pitches to record one out.
Ruggiano will dig in. Early AT&T Uverse multi-view. 3 on with only 1 out. Cubs haven't won here since the All-Star break. Got swept in Arizona, but threatening early against his veteran left-hander Eric Stoltz. Popped into right. Denorfia, not terribly deep. Bonifacio on his way toward the plate. Throw's going to go to third. Everybody safe. Sac fly for Ruggiano. Bonifacio scores, and it's 1-0.
Good enough to get the job done. Denorfia kind of spikes this throw. Didn't get much on it at all. Anticipating a fairly close play at home there, given the depth of that fly ball.
So 2 down, first and third, and it's the catcher, Wellington Castillo. On Saturday, hit his 7th home run. One off his career high set last year.
And just missed another one. Hit a deep drive to center field that was run down right in front of the wall.
So the Cubs cashing in the leadoff double. 2 guys left on base right now. Both walked. Denorfia will grab this one.
How many outs there were?
Yeah, I think he thought there were less than 2 outs. Cubs get 1 and lead 1-0 after an inning.
And as Jed Hoyer, Rick Renteria, all the guys in the Cubs clubhouse today described this as a very hard one, watching Darwin Barney get designated for assignment. Here's a little bit more of what Jed had to say.
I think the challenge was playing time, and it's I don't want to say it's unfair for his career, but he's a guy that deserves to play, and we're sort of running out of at bats and running out of play appearances, and it's hard to be a leader when you're not playing a lot, and so I think that. For our playing time, for the playing time here and for his own career, I think it's probably for the best on both sides, but it doesn't make it easier.
Jed went on to say it is time for Mendy to play. So Arismendi Alcantara, he expects to be in the lineup from here on out. Of course, tonight playing in center, drew the walk there in the first inning, guys. But it was one of the things he said, if we pull guys up, we anticipate them playing. We're not going to have them share time. We don't want to see them sitting on the bench, and that's really what the entire decision came down to with Darwin Barney.
Kelly, thank you. 1-0 Cubs here in the second. This is Jake Gobert playing first base. Mentioned all the DL guys as he lines out to Rizzo. Gobert's got a big cheering section, got a nice ovation when his name was announced. He's from the area, from Hampshire, Illinois, not too far west of Chicago.
Yeah, played at Northwestern. His family owns a big nursery out there. Pumpkin patch and all that good stuff.
He was excited to be here at Wrigley Field tonight. Here's Denorfia. You seem to forget how many outs there were after making the catch for the third out. It's better to, I think there are less than 3. Than more than 3.
Yeah, good point. Better to keep on playing than to shut it down when there's only 2. Ideally, you know how many there outs there are all the time. That's the kind of inning where you're going to lose track, though. That was a long half inning.
On one bounce to Mike Olt. 2 quick outs.
And not an easy day for Darwin Barney, of course, designated for assignment. Not an easy day for the decision makers who had to pull the trigger. But, you know, it's the nature of baseball. Everybody that gets into the game knows it. That there's going to come that day where you're either traded, released, moved on in one way or another. And, you know, hopefully he ends up in a good spot. His value for me, and I'm not the only one that thinks this way, is, you know, being an extra man on a really good team. A guy who can come off the bench, play the middle infield positions defensively for you late in the game, make a start or 2 a week.
We wish Darwin the best, one of our favorite guys, and I do think he'll hook on with somebody, and you know, the Cubs again would love for that to happen for his career. 1-2-3 for Kyle Hendricks. Cubs lead 1-0 early.
Got 2 more under the lights here with the Padres, and then the Cardinals are in town for the weekend, and then the Rockies next week. Make sure to visit WrigleyField100.com for all the planned 1970s festivities. For tickets, visit Cubs.com.
7 Nation Army couldn't hold that man back. Detroit native John Anthony Gillis, better known as Jack White, from the White Stripes, now doing his own thing. His new record's really, really good.
That was him in the Cubs shirt?
That was him. If you're looking for a good Netflix one of these days, It Might Get Loud. Jack White, Bono, and Jimmy Page. 3 guitarists, all the way they operate. Jack White builds a guitar from scratch. It's really cool. Junior Lake taps one foul. Eddie Vedder was here earlier. I don't know if he's still in the ballpark. I saw him down around the batting cage. Through the legs of Stoltz. Nice play by Brooks Conrad to get Lake. Went down to get it, got up quickly and made the play.
And Conrad does not get high marks for his defensive play, but this is a nice play. How quickly he gets back to his feet and unloads to get Junior Lake.
Yeah, 2010 with the Braves had that rough game 3 of the division series. 3 errors at second base. That's a beauty right there.
Careful, Junior. A lot of bad things can happen when you lunge for the bag like that. And he landed in an awkward position.
Oh, 2 on Mike Olt. Seems like lately, and when you're going the way Mike has gone, it seems like it's been 0-2 every at bat. A swing and a miss and a curve for strike 3.
Yeah, and I think what's probably going on is just too much thinking, a lot of trying to get inside the head of the pitcher, trying to guess along with the pitcher. And when that happens, you just get caught in between a lot. You're thinking fastball and you get the slow stuff. You're thinking the slow stuff, you can't react to the fastball. Now, Rick Renteria earlier this year, when talking about Mike Gold, said, I just want him to swing the bat. I want him to be aggressive. I don't mind strikeouts, but I want to see him turn the bat loose.
Here's Hendricks with 2 outs. I said Bono. I meant the Edge. Guitar player from U2. I get my
get a mulligan.
One word name guys wrong.
That's when you know you've made it, right? When you're a one name guy. Michael.
Yeah.
Prince.
Sting we had in here.
Sting.
No. 2-1 on Hendricks. 3-1. Got the low strike. Full 3-2. Bonifacio on deck. Doubled and scored in the opening inning. And he'll get another chance with 2 outs after the walk to the pitcher. First time through the order. A guy who normally, as JD mentioned, is in the strike zone a lot, has walked 3.
Yeah, that's a brain cramp walk there. He has issued 2 walks or less in 24 of his last 27 games. He had done that, I should say, dating back to August 18th of last year. That last one could have gone either way, but with the opposing pitcher up there in 2 outs, you don't want to throw one that's so close that it could go either way. And that wasn't his intention. I'm sure he just wanted to pump one over the heart of the plate. Can't hit the bullseye every time. Even Greg Maddux couldn't do that.
Pitcher strike there, 0-2. Big week for Greg Maddux. More on the Hall of Fame class coming up. Talking with Billy Williams before the game. He's heading to Cooperstown. As always, this one will get out of play.
Yeah.
And Tom Glavine, Frank Thomas. One of 3 Hall of Fame managers going in.
What a run he had in the mid-90s. ERAs well below league average.
Gold Gloves, that's the most among any player at any position. I bet he'll give a really good speech, because the guys you don't expect to give good ones usually really come through. Although if there's anybody who would just go up there and say thanks, appreciate it, and will walk off the stage, it would be great. Still 1-2. Not the kind of night as a starting pitcher you want to be throwing this many this early. As Stoltz nears 50, and only in the 2nd inning.
Yeah, likely he'll mean an early call to the bullpen for Bud Black tonight. And from his point of view, that's probably not such a bad thing. His bullpen has been outstanding, even with Houston streak gone. Still got a lot of weapons out there.
Lots of shorts and tank tops. Nice crowd on hand tonight.
Stay hydrated. Might even want to drink some of that.
Two and two.
Yeah, well, Stoltz just doesn't have the stuff to be a, an early in the at-bat out guy. He's got to set you up, and so he's relying on your impatience. The guys that throw 94 with sinking action can just challenge the strike zone. Here it is, boys, go ahead and take a whack at it. Neither one of these guys really has that kind of game, has the ability to do that.
Feathered down along the right field line for a base hit. Bonifacio's got a hold with a single. Hendricks all the way to third. So Cubs making Stoltz pay for walking the pitcher with 2 outs. Really extending this inning at the very least.
On here goes Bonifacio doing what he does best, hitting the ball all over the field. A pull double into the left field corner last time. Now he takes this pitch off the outside corner and flips it the other way off the end of the bat.
Now Alcantara walked in the first inning, coming off a 1-for-12 series in Arizona. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Called strike 2, couple of fastballs to start the at bat.
First one beat him, second one surprised him.
Grandal looking into his dugout. 1-2. There it comes. Swing and a miss on a slider near the outside corner to end the inning. Cubs strand 2 and lead 1-0 after 2. Inning, and you can follow Patrick Mooney, our Cubs insider, all season long on Comcast Sportsnet. Brought to you by nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. Visit Jeff at jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. Busy day. Cubs with an off day yesterday. We knew roster moves were coming. with the additions of Hendricks tonight and Wada tomorrow, and also the Arizmendi Alcantara situation, but Darwin Barney designated for assignment.
Yeah, and the Cubs have been kind of phasing Darwin out for a couple months now. I think we saw this coming with just the position players that are kind of pushing through the system. I think it was kind of a little surprising the way it happened today, just because it wasn't that long ago where he was this kind of borderline core player, a Gold Glover, and really he just kind of has been the same hitter for a while. Not that he was an offensive force, but just that they couldn't really carry his bat, and they were just kind of running out of playing time here.
Bonifacio coming back, so he was going to grab some playing time. And if the kid's here, he's going to play. I talked to Ricky Renteria about that, and Jed was very upfront about that. You're not going to have Alcantara be here and not play a lot. And more to come at some point. We're not sure who else we'll see on September 1st. And Patrick, I don't know if the Cubs know for sure. We may see moves here before August 1st. We may see trades after the first non-waiver deadline.
Yeah, well, we'll kind of see what happens there. I do think that Baez, if he keeps playing like this, I think it makes sense to bring him up in September. I think there's a really good chance you'll see Jorge Soler up here. He's already on the roster. Chris Bryant, no chance, but certainly the team you're looking at today is going to be completely different, by the end of September, if not sooner.
Hendricks getting Stultz back to the top now, and Will Venable. Well, it was going to be temporary, and Alcantara got off to a good start. I wouldn't say that necessarily, the first 3 or 4 games of his career made them make this move, but it didn't hurt.
Yeah, I think they were looking at it as he was probably going to come up in late July, early August. He had kind of checked all the boxes that they'd wanted. He had produced at AAA, but certainly he kind of took that chance and ran with it and really forced the issue.
Yeah, and I think there's a maturity about him, the way he approaches the game that everybody likes, and I think too, if you're Ricky Renteria and with all the changes that are going on and how much say he has in a decision like this, ultimately he's going to fight for certain guys. And if you're the manager and you see that kid play a couple days, you're going to go, hey, wait a minute, do we necessarily have to send this guy back? I'll find a way to play him if you keep him here on the big league roster.
2-1 on Venable.
I think everyone hopes that Darwin winds up on a contending team, that in a weird way he fits better on a division winner where he can kind of slot in and teams can carry his defense and look past his offense.
Venable with a base hit.
And the reality is he's a better fit on this club in a couple of years when if the plan works and they're as good as they expect to be down the road, then he becomes a good fit for this team to be that guy, that defensive player off the bench.
I mean, from our perspective, he was always great to deal with, accountable. I think he was a big influence on Starlin. I know Starlin had his ups and downs, and I think part of that improvement was Darwin being next to him, before every pitch, kind of locking in and figuring out what they were going to do.
Well, the baseball IQ is off the charts. I think ultimately, he just didn't hit enough. And it stands out more on a team that needs offense from as many positions as possible. It's interesting, Joe Sheehan tweeted that he thinks the Yankees should go after him and play Brendan Ryan at short. Now, Jeter's at short, so that's not going to happen, but he said they should go all defense. Imagine Brendan Ryan and Darwin Barney playing together. Pretty good.
And JD, you're exactly right. If Brian and Baez are what the Cubs think can be a middle order, combining to hit 60, 70 homers, then you can carry a guy like Darwin.
Tamarista could be 2. And a drop by Bonifacio and a close play, safe at first. So it could have been 2. Instead, it's none.
That's ironic, is it not? Talking about Darwin and his value defensively, what appeared to be a relatively routine double play ball. They get nothing.
And they're sending Castillo out to the mound just so you can get another look at the video in the replay room. And Ricky is not going to challenge. Okay, a couple of other thoughts here. And these are just kind of, stuff to chew on that we do kind of off the air and as time goes on, but maybe decisions that haven't been made. Kyle Schwarber, I'm reading different things about his defense behind the plate, and the couple of thoughts is that the bat will move quickly through the system, but if you leave him behind the plate, that could kind of slow down his progress. Are you hearing anything about Schwarber early on as a catcher?
Yeah, I think they want to give it a shot. I remember when they saw him in spring training when Indiana was down there, someone told me that this guy's a monster, and they think maybe he could catch, but he was not drafted because they thought he'd be a catcher. They like his bat, and certainly, I think even when they drafted him, they said maybe he'll play a couple of games a week. So I think as long as he keeps hitting, I think they want to push him up there. And I do think, we talk about leadership and losing guys, and not that Kyle Schwarber can be that guy from day one, but the Cubs love his makeup, and I know everyone says that, but they really think he can bring a lot of energy and attitude into this clubhouse.
All right, another chance to turn it, and this time they do. That goes 6-3 as Castro turns the double play. Patrick Mooney, our Cubs insider, get all the info. CSNChicago.com. 1-0 Cubs. The first 10,000 fans will get a Cubs t-shirt presented by StubHub. For tickets, go to Cubs.com. I like that color. That's going to get us ready for the big throwback jersey on Sunday. The light blue road unis with the white pinstripes from 1978. It'll be on Sunday, and the Cardinals will wear their 1978 inspired uniforms as well.
Were they rocking the powder blue back then?
Yeah, I don't know if they can both wear powder blue. The Cardinals may wear white. I don't know.
Like a prom.
We'll find out. Anthony Rizzo high in the air. That one should go, and it will go. Actually, the wind didn't help it that much. It has died down, and it didn't matter.
Oh, yeah. It's like a multivitamin. One a day. This is a large one. Boom.
New career high.
Yeah, I undersold him earlier. A few weeks back, we were talking, and I said, well, he's going to be good for 30. So he's going to fly by that.
Well, Stanton has not homered tonight, so at least for right now, Anthony is in sole possession of the home run lead in the NL. Castro chops to third, picked up by Nelson. 2-0 Cubs. Say if the wind had been blowing out, it might have hit a building across the street. It had kind of died down for a second. Now it's kicked back up. Ruggiano fouls back. That's one of those balls, JD, right off the bat. He hit it so high. And I thought he had plenty, but when you hit it that high, you're just not sure.
Right. Only the really strong guys are capable of hitting it that far, that high.
Swing and a miss on a changeup, 0-2 on Ruggiano. Changeup low and outside. And off the plate in, it's full. 3-2. Come back here. Ruggiano after an 0-2 start. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Time for you to tweet your photo using hashtag NorthsideFanPhoto for a chance to have it appear later on in our broadcast, brought to you by AT&T. One on Castillo. We might get some rain later, hopefully, well after the game has ended. Change up in the dirt, low and outside. Dodgers and Pirates already in the 6th inning in Pittsburgh. It's 4-4 in that one. Walker, Davis, Polanco have all homered for the Bucks. That ball line in the left for a single.
These 2 base runners in every inning here. Stoltz continues to labor, working a real high pitch count on a hot, muggy night. That was a hanging changeup, I believe. Castillo, good solid swing. He's shown some signs of life with the bat of late.
Closing the roof in Milwaukee. It has started to rain there. Brewers leading the Reds 2-0 in the top of the 4th inning. Aramis, Ramirez, and Ryan Braun have homered. I think Braun homered first, and then Aramis sent it back to back.
Saw a headline a little while ago about Ryan Braun saying, "Where has the power gone?"
Was he asking that, or was somebody?
No, somebody was asking it of him. Yeah.
Cardinals are hosting Tampa Bay. They're 1-1 in the bottom of the 3rd. Cardinals a half game back of the Brewers. Pittsburgh 2.5. Cincinnati 3.5 out. Reds have lost 4 straight. Swing and a miss on the change to end the inning. 5 Ks for Stoltz, but he's trailing 2-0. Rizzo leading off the inning with his career best 24th home run.
Cubs on top 2-0 as we move into the 4th inning. Of course, Anthony named the NL Player of the Week last week after going long 3 times over the weekend. And he mentioned to me during the All-Star break, actually, when we were in Minneapolis, that to him, the toughest part about this season he's had so far would be sustaining the consistency of what he's done so far. But, hey, he looks like he's doing a pretty good job of it. The only thing for Anthony, if he continues this pace and the Cubs end up in last place in the division, he would be added to this list of hitters who have 4 of them from the NL, 3 of which were Cubs, led the team in home runs, but finished last in the division. I know, guys, you know this, but Anthony would much rather this team just go on a nice little run here, and he would never have to be a part of that list. So I think that's what he would choose.
No question. So leading the league in homers on a last-place team. I didn't know that. I knew about Hawk. Hendricks makes the play to get Grandal. Hawk won the
So this is the
MVP.
only 3 instances in National League history where this has happened. Huh? It's pretty interesting.
We've got a long way to go.
Yeah. Well, that's in the divisional era.
Okay.
1969.
Here's Nelson with 1 away. Hendricks has settled in nicely for giving up a couple of base runners in the first. Victimized by an error in the third, but then quickly got a double play ball to get out of that jam.
Yeah, we saw in Cincinnati from him, and obviously you don't want to make too much out of one start, but he looks like a guy who's not only does he have pitchability, you know, he controls all of his pitches, has a real smart approach out there, but he looks pretty calm and composed too for a guy making his 2nd major league start.
Product of Dartmouth, from California originally. 8th round pick of the Rangers in 2011. The 0-2 Nelson skies foul. Bounce to third. It's picked up by Mike Olt. He makes the play. So I mentioned Jake Gobert. He's from Hampshire, Illinois. It's about 55 miles northwest of Chicago. That's him at 2 years old on his parents' family farm, on which they grow, among other things, pumpkins. The pumpkin patch is a local tourist destination in the fall. And here he is. He was a happy camper, wasn't he?
How about that? From the pumpkin patch to Wrigley Field.
13th rounder of the Astros out of Northwestern, 2009.
Then with the A's, was traded here, the Kyle Blanks deal earlier this summer. Got some Play-Doh.
Jean jacket.
Yep.
Life is good. Life's good for him now.
Well, you pull a steak out of the ground, it's steak and some tomatoes or something. You roll up your Play-Doh into a ball, you toss it up, you whack it, and you go get it.
Strike called, 3-1. We got another local kid who made good. Mark Grant, former big league pitcher. He's going to sing the stretch tonight. Padres TV booth. And a big group of fans from Joliet here to cheer him on. And ball 4. Second walk of the night for Hendricks. There he is, alongside Dick Enberg in the Padres television booth. Denorfia takes a strike. And send out happy birthday wishes to Michelle Coble. Watching tonight from Depew, Illinois. In the air to left. Lake back on it, and he's got room, and that'll end the inning. Bottom of the fourth coming up. It's the Cubs 2 and the Padres 0. Military recognition, served in the California Air National Guard, receiving the Armed Forces Services Service Medal for dedication and integrated service as the OIC for the Operation Jumpstart deployment.
It's Friday. It's July 25th. 3:05 first pitch. Cardinals are in town. First 10,000 fans receive a Jack Brickhouse bobblehead. This has got a special sound clip of Jack's call of Ernie Banks' 500th home run. It's presented by Advocate Healthcare. Visit Cubs.com to reserve your seat.
Strike on Mike Olt, batting 8th tonight. Oh, 2. As I said last time up.
We were talking about Mike being caught in between last time up, and there's a great example. He takes a very hittable fastball for strike one, and you can almost read his mind going, I'm not going to let that happen again. So he gets aggressive and chases the changeup down.
Backdoor slider just missed. I alluded to this briefly last week. The Major League record, according to Baseball Reference, for most home runs by a player hitting under 150 in a season is 7. He has 12. Ball strike 3 on a fastball.
Just can't pull the trigger.
A guy named Jose Oliva split 1995 between Atlanta and St. Louis. 70 games. He hit 142 with 7 home runs. But what Mike has done so far this year, and hopefully he'll hit well above 150, but if he doesn't, he will set by far the big league record. It's hard to get as many at bats as he's had with that low an average.
Yeah, you see him working his way up the tunnel to vent a little bit. Your heart goes out for the kid. He's getting his chance to play in the big leagues, and obviously the playing time has dwindled considerably lately because of his struggles. But every day that he does get in there, it's an opportunity to kind of turn the page. He just hasn't been able to do it.
One and one on Hendricks.
Talk so much about the peaks and valleys of baseball and how it can be a humbling game and all those other cliches. Well, sometimes the game can be flat out mean. And that's the way it feels to Mike Olt right now.
2-2 changeup.
How about that?
3-2.
It says a little bit about Stoltz's approach, does it not? He walked Hendricks last time. Here he's got him up there, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and he throws a changeup. We're getting bombarded from the
peanut gallery booth, over here. Yeah. Mark Grant is
Mark Grant's going to get.
sing.
He's going to get detention.
4th inning stretch. Foul tip, strike 3. Thursday, the White Sox and Twins will battle in the Twin Cities in an AL Central matchup. White Sox and Twins Thursday at 7. Here on Comcast Sportsnet. Sox fans excited about Frank Thomas going into the Hall of Fame along with Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine. Bonifacio curve at 67 for a strike.
Sometimes that Hall of Fame class, you kind of scratch your head and go, is that guy really deserving?
Every one of them
this year.
Say,
yeah.
Yep. I think I said the other day it was a 99. Ryan, Brett, and Yount. This might be the best class since then. What a career. Backhanded play. Amarista gets Bonifacio to end the inning. The Cubs go 1-2-3 for the first time tonight, but they lead 2-0.
Field this coming Sunday, 121st pitch. Cubs and the Cardinals, and the first 5,000 kids 13 and under will receive a Cubs Magic Baseball presented by Ganella. After the ball game, the first 1,000 13 and younger will have the opportunity to run the bases. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com.
Now we want to pass along our sympathies to the family of Jim Brosnan, former big league pitcher. Actually started his career with the Cubs back in the mid-50s. Jim passed away a few weeks ago in Park Ridge, Illinois, at age 84. The long season, did you ever read it? It
no.
Predated Ball 4. He wrote about being a ball player, and it was 50 years ago. Kept a diary in 1959. Reading a New York Times story about Brosnan and his passing. It says the book is often given credit for changing the nature of baseball writing, anticipating the literary reporting of Roger Angell, Roger Kahn, and others, setting the stage for Veck is in Wreck. There's Brooks Conrad. He's going to head for 2, and he's going to make it. Leadoff double here in the 5th. So if you're looking for some baseball reading. Maybe you want to check it out. A long season.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. Brosnan played collegiately at Xavier University.
He's from Cincinnati, I believe.
Yeah.
Finished his career with the White Sox, in fact. Cubs, Cardinals, Reds, White Sox. Bunted by Stoltz, throw to third, out there. A little bit of a risk by Castillo, but a nice throw, and Holt applied the tag, and they get Conrad.
Well, Conrad must have gotten a really bad jump. He doesn't have a huge lead to begin with, but this is a ball. That's not a bad bunt. Very athletic play by Castillo. When he came up looking at third base, I thought, not such a good idea. He had a similar play in Arizona where he threw the ball to third base, and they did not get the out. This throw was right on the money. Not a great bunt, but not a horrible bunt. Not aggressive enough with the lead.
Strike called on Venable.
Buddy Black will tell you his club cannot afford that. Their inability to score runs, they have to execute.
Ground ball picked up by Bonifacio. 4-6-3, and just like that, the inning is over. Leadoff double, no runs. Cubs still lead 2-0.
Back in action with the Padres right here at Wrigley. Anthony Rizzo continues to swing a hot bat. It's Yoshi Wada and Ian Kennedy on the mound for that ball game. Tomorrow comes your way on CSN at 7 sharp. Padres Cubs tomorrow evening.
Two 2-0. The Cubs trying to snap a 5-game skid. First of a 10-game homestand and a lot of games here at Wrigley Field coming up. Cubs have played 42 games at home. Fewest in the majors.
I was hoping to get healthy here at the start of the second half, playing the Diamondbacks, who had the worst home record in baseball. That didn't work out so well.
Brown is backhanded by Conrad, and he throws out Alcantara.
Padres, they're struggling. Cardinals then come over the weekend. That's always a test. And then the Rockies, they're really struggling. They've been the worst team in baseball for the last month or so.
Xfinity high-speed action.
Look at that swing, boy. Really using the lower body. I'm no hitting guru, but when I look at Anthony swing the bat this year versus what I saw last year, and I think it's the way he's using the lower body. Last year, he'd go through prolonged funks where he just hit the ball on the ground to the right side of the infield, kind of come over the top. Now he's down and through, staying long through the strike zone.
Two and one on him. Two and two.
With that back leg.
JD mentioned it's probably already been about a 3 t-shirt night for Stoltz, making his 90th pitch. One lined to deep center, and it's hauled in by Venable. Two away. Here's Castro. Sadly, more condolences. Adam Fells, the blog Cubs Den, has passed away, and we want to let his family and friends and readers know that we're thinking about them tonight. Never got a chance to meet Adam, but I corresponded with him via email, and good guy. And knew his stuff. He was a smart baseball guy. 1-0 on Castro, trying to get that grip right. Two and 0.
They didn't give in there with the 2-0 offering. I've green light him right here with 2 outs. No guarantee you're going to get a fastball here, even on 3-0, but there's a much better shot at getting one. And if he throws one in there, I'd want Castro to take a whack at it. Yeah, turned him loose. He might have had the green light, just didn't want it. Guys like Stoltz who don't like to throw that fastball, there's very few occasions when you can just sit dead red, feel pretty comfortable that you're going to get a fastball. Two outs, nobody on. You're looking for extra bases. Why not get after it there on 3-0?
Three-two pitch, fly ball deep left center, back toward the wall, off the wall. And it's going to be a double. 2 out, 2 bagger for Castro.
Well, at the end of the day, he got his extra base hit anyway. This pitch, like a high slider, moving across the top of the strike zone, doesn't quite get all of it. He got in off the fat part of the bat just a little bit, still able to muscle off the wall out there in left center field.
Ruggiano sac fly in the first. He struck out his next time up in the third.
100 pitches for Stoltz as he works in the fifth, so it's not just the pitch counter approaching 100 pitches. Just, you know, the abundance of pitches in a short period. The first couple innings, he threw a ton.
Pitchers duel in New York. Rangers and the Yanks are scoreless in the bottom of the 8th. Both teams' starters long gone. Nick Martinez for the Rangers and Chase Whitley for the Yankees. Whitley went 6, Martinez 5 1/3. Off the end of the bat, that one floated out into shallow center. A base hit. Castro will score. How about a little 2-out rally? Double, single, and it's 3-0.
Second RBI of the night for Ruggiano. He hit that little flare sac fly in the first. Now this one off the end of the bat. Little floater out into shallow center field. Good enough to get the job done. Throws it soft, hits it soft.
Dale Thayer is up in the visitors' bullpen. And a trip by Aaron Balsley, his second of the night.
Colts in jeopardy of losing his 12th game. He's 3-11, had a 4.98 ERA coming into this one. Like most of the Padre pitchers, there's been very little run support for him, so clearly there has to be a lot of frustration.
He's getting the lowest run support per game in the majors among qualified starters, 2.63. Tonight, 0.
Yeah, total of 29 runs in his 19 starts. Ooh.
One strike on Castillo. Here's a pitch. It's outside. Ground ball to short. Amarista to Conrad at the bag to end the inning. Cubs add to their lead. It's now 3-0 at the end of 5.
looking pretty right now, in position for the win. If the Cubs, of course, can hang on. And Kyle knows a thing or two about winning, but this being just his second start in the bigs, he said it would certainly feel nice to get the win here. He has 23 wins in his minor league career, which ranks him third since 2013, along with the other guys here on the stat that we're showing you. But Kyle, guys, when asked, Rick Renteria said in order to be successful, given that he's a soft toss kind of guy, he has to execute. And JD, I want you to follow up on that. Beyond just execution for him, the outsmarting hitters and everything else that'll go into him being successful at this level.
Yeah, he's the kind of guy you project as he goes along to maybe get a little bit better. Now, he has an advantage early on because the hitters don't know him. They haven't seen his stuff. They don't know exactly how he goes about his business. So advantage Hendricks in that regard. But, you know, we talk so much about this being a game of adjustments, and he's a real smart kid. So you figure he's going to be able to make the adjustments as he goes along. The question about Hendricks has always been, will the stuff play here? It's tougher to survive in the big leagues when you don't have that 94-mile-an-hour heater. So his fastball is a little short, but his command is a plus. His changeup is a plus pitch. And, you know, everything that we've heard and a little bit that we've seen, his pitching IQ seems to be awfully high.
Working on a 3-hit shutout to this point. And ahead of Amarista, 1-2. Amarista's reached twice, a single and an error. Under the glove of Hendricks, but Castro on the spot behind second makes a play. One away, it'll bring up Seth Smith.
I don't think anybody expects Kyle Hendricks to be a front of the rotation type guy, but if he can establish himself and settle in, your third, fourth starter, that type thing, and I'm not talking about immediately, I'm talking about over the length of his career, he has a chance to have a very nice big league career.
That one lined in the left for a base hit. Smith is on, and now it's Grandal, the cleanup hitter. Carlos Quentin is on their active roster, but not in their lineup tonight. He didn't start in that 4-game series in May because of a tweaked groin, but hit a 2-run homer and then a game-winning single in his 2 pinch hit appearances. So you could see Quentin a little later on. He hasn't done much this year. He's hitting 176. You say hitting is contagious. Man.
Yeah. It's like there's just been a big cloud over Eeyore following the Padres around, their hitters anyway.
I mean, Quentin only has 148 plate appearances, but his OPS is 596. I mean, that is nowhere near what you're used to seeing from him.
Yeah, major league average OPS for non-pitchers is 718 on base plus slugging.
Yeah, he's usually in the 800s.
Yeah. A whole bunch of guys in their team are in the 5s.
Well, Baseball Reference does an OPS plus for teams, 100 kind of being, break even. They were at 76 as a team coming in. Now that is as meager as it gets. As Grandal takes the walk. I mentioned that New York Times article about the Padres. The worst full season OPS plus on record, the 1924 Boston Braves, 71. And the Padres are at 76.
Scored 291 runs, dead last in the league. 14th in the league, the St. Louis Cardinals.
Saw that.
How about that? Cubs 5 runs better than the Cardinals so far this year, 2 fewer ball games played, so the Cardinals getting it done with their pitching. But even at that, it's like 80 runs difference between St. Louis and San Diego between 14th and 15th.
Got the tying run at the plate as Nelson takes a strike. I'll go even further. Among all 30 major league teams, okay, the Padres last in runs per game, 297. The Cardinals are 29, 3.74. They get one. They get two.
Becoming a habit.
Third double play in the last 4 innings. All to end the frame. .05 in the first. 10,000 fans get a special mobile device power bank presented by Private Bank. Tickets are still available. Go to Cubs.com to purchase your seats today. Eric Stoltz done after 5 innings and 103 pitches. Gave up 3 runs on 6 hits. And here's right-hander Dale Thayer.
That's Goose Gossage.
Junior Lake fouls.
Yeah, Stoltz hung in there, man. It was a tough night to pitch. He struggled early through a lot of pitches the first couple innings of this game. Ended up giving up 3 in 5 innings on a tough night to pitch. As I mentioned earlier, the Padres bullpen, the best bullpen ERA in the league.
Swing and a miss, 0-2 on Lake. They are originally signed with the Padres, undrafted free agent back in 2002. 7th overall season in the Padres chain. And 3rd since rejoining in 2012. That looked like it was right down the middle, but Lake got the benefit there, and we'll get another pitch. I'm guessing Pitch Tracks liked it. Maybe a little low.
Pitch Tracks had it borderline.
That one was up. Shallow center, and it'll be run down by Venable.
Lake able to lay off that breaking ball down. That's been a pitch that's really plagued him, and he got himself a fastball, but he was late on it.
Alt has struck out both times.
There you go. Turned it loose there.
I feel like for this matchup with the guy on the mound, every batter should walk halfway to the mound. They should go back to back and then walk in opposite directions before the pitch.
Yeah.
Seven paces.
Yeah, you just don't get a good duel anymore. There's Goose.
Oh, that's pretty good. Actually, Goose looked pretty tame.
Yeah, he had tightened up there. That shot.
Speaking. Called strike 3.
Goose at times, though, he wore it a lot bushier than that shot right there.
Yeah. And he was all arms and legs too with his delivery.
Great competitor. It's a hat trick for Mike.
You've heard the Gossage Yankees clubhouse postgame rant, haven't you?
I believe I have.
Take it upstairs to the Fat Man.
Fat Man, yeah. They used to call Steinbrenner the Fat Man to his face in the clubhouse.
Ooh. Those were the days, right?
The Bronx Zoo.
Cubs 3, Padres nothing after 6.
It says, well, an impressive collection of game-used treasures. Come challenge yourself or your friends. The Chicago Sports Museum.
It is Mark Grant.
It's good to see you, Kenny Jasper. Hey, Jim Lachey. How you doing, left-hander?
See you, Mud.
What's going on, guys?
How you doing, pal?
Pride
It's good
of
to be back.
Catholic.
It's good to be back.
We saw Jack White. We've got Eddie Vedder here, and you're singing? How'd that happen?
I don't know.
How are you, man?
I'm doing well.
Show us your glasses.
You're a little underdressed.
Yeah, I know.
Want to put your
I
sport
love
coat
the
back
towel.
on?
I love the towel around your neck. That's a great
You have
look.
to convey the elements.
You know what?
To the people at home.
I know, and I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, show the glasses.
I bought these about 10 years ago, obviously being a huge Harry Carey fan, and these were the exact not the exact camera. They're Goliath. They're Ultra Goliath 2s. I was asking for the Ultra 3s, Goliath 3s, but I guess they were sold out. What do you think about that, JD?
I like it. Very nice.
You want to try them on?
I do.
Did you notice how I also got them tinted a little bit, the blue? Mm-hmm. Remember Harry had the blue tint?
Yeah.
And I said to my optometrist friend, I just want clear frames.
Like Mr. Magoo.
He looks like Uncle Junior from The Sopranos. But no, this is this is quite an honor. And Lenny, I want to thank you. I want to thank the Chicago Cubs. I mean, this is big. This is big for me.
You grew up watching the Cubs.
My dad brought me to this place for my first big league ball game. We sat right down there. I remember it was against the Mets. Jim Hickman hit a home run. I had a Coke, and I finished it. And I said to my dad, "Hey, Dad, where did I throw this?" He goes, "Just throw it on the ground." I said, "Throw it on the ground? What? You always taught me that to find a garbage can." He goes, "No, you're at the ball yard." So my dad's at home watching in Joliet. My mom is here with my sister, Leslie.
That's great.
We've got some friends from Joliet Catholic, class of '81 here tonight. So it was a nice gesture on their part to get some friends and come up the 55 into Lakeshore Drive-In, Dad.
I just wish you had some fun.
Well, Big Wheel keep on turning. Who cannot dance to Ike Turner and Tina Turner, the Ikeettes?
Nice career as a pitcher, and you're having a great career as a broadcaster.
And of course, Dick was getting jiggy with it. As you can
subtly,
see.
it was under the table.
Yeah,
under the table.
Yeah.
I could see.
Yeah, he was excited.
There's a lot of going on there.
It was like Elvis. His legs were moving. But,
They couldn't show Dick from the hips down.
There's a base hit for DeNorfia. So he's on with one out.
You came to the game here as a kid. How old were you?
I was about 7 years old. Came with my dad, Larry, my uncle, Rich, and his son, Rick, who pitched professionally for the Expos and pitched in AAA for the Denver Bears. He played with all those guys coming up like Wallach, Raines.
The powerhouse team in Denver,
But that was my first game. And, growing up in Joliet, the power of television, I watched the Cubs every day coming home.
As
we only had the rabbit ears. We had the big three and then the rabbit ears. Cable in the Grant household. You think Dad's going to drop a dime to get cable TV in Joliet? Are you kidding me? And we couldn't get channel.
Were you raised in the 40s?
We couldn't get 44 because it was just a scrambled whatever it was.
No, that was a big not coming of age, but a big moment. I mean, I remember the same thing when I was a kid. We got cable. It was a big deal when we got cable.
My dad at home still has to get up and turn the knob.
No remote?
We didn't have central AC in our house till I was 14.
You still have roll down windows in your car?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
It's kind of like your booth tonight.
Yeah. Good times.
1-0 on Conrad's swing and a miss.
Hey, that's a good combo, huh?
Mm-hmm. His ticket, his meal ticket right there. That
nice little curveball working too earlier, but his big pitch is the changeup, huh?
Mm-hmm.
1-1 with one out. I want you to tell the story, but the Padres keep hitting it in double plays. So
yeah, really.
We'll see how this pitch goes. Fouled back. Your major league debut.
1984. Bob Brenly was catching. I was a San Francisco Giant, 20 years old, in Cincinnati. And long story short, I gave up 2 runs before I got an out, and then I hit a guy. Ron Oster started yelling at me. Scott Thompson said, "Hey, next time he comes up to the plate, brush him back a little bit." So I hit him. Instead, I hit him. So next thing you know, I come up to the plate. I get hit. Joe Price hits me, left-handed pitcher. Yeah. And just like you, JD.
Exactly.
And so I took the loss and 2 bench clearings. And my dad, after the game.
2 bench clearing balls.
Yeah. So after the game, my dad puts his arm around me. He goes, "You know what, Mark?" He goes, "Some guys throw shutouts. Some guys throw no-hitters, their major league debut. You had 2 bench clearings." Way to go, big boy.
And instant credibility with your teammates.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, we like this guy.
Swing and a miss, strike 3 for out number 2. Are you nervous?
I am.
You should be.
I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't.
Be.
Yeah. But I'm going to have fun. And, growing up in Chicago, in Joliet rather, listening to Jack Brickhouse, who I just adored. And you know what? You're a product of your environment, right?
No
I mean,
question.
me as an announcer, hey! Oh, boy, Billy Buck! Right?
Yeah.
So that's, I was a fan, just like, I'm a fan now for my Padres. I want them to win. And then, of course, Harry Carey came along, and it's all good.
Comes Chris Bosio.
Played against Bos in the PCL and in El Paso when he was a Milwaukee Brewer farmhand.
Oh, yeah. He'll talk to Hendricks, who's only made 79 pitches. He's been very efficient on a hot night. The wind blowing out. You probably checked the flags when you came here, huh?
You know what? That's one of the things I remember JD telling me a long time ago. As a pitcher, if you're starting that day, you get out of the cab, the first thing you do is check the flags.
Yeah. Well, you can feel typically when it's really hot like this, the wind would be blowing out, so you could walk out of the hotel, and if it was hot, this probably doesn't bode well. And the fun part too is your teammates. There's always been this kind of gallows humor in baseball. So you as a starting pitcher, you'd walk on the team bus, and your teammates would be, "Wind's blowing out today, man."
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Can't wait to hit.
Okay, yeah.
I'm glad I don't have to pitch.
Yeah, you hit 8 home runs, and I'll give up 7 runs, all right? And we'll call it even.
We'll see Blaine Boyer in the bottom of the inning as Tommy Medica. That's for Dale Thayer.
Hey, how about the year Anthony Rizzo's having, huh? What a good kid, too.
Amazing.
Of course, we had him in San Diego briefly. He just looks so comfortable out there at the plate defensively. He's calm. He's cool. He lets the game come to him,
He really does. And, what he's done against lefties this year.
Oh, it's unbelievable. What was it, 189 last year, and this year 360 something with 8 homers?
It's just a maturation of a young player.
Yep.
Righties.
Because last year he didn't let the game come to him. There were times where he really pressed and start jumping at the ball a little bit, let the pitcher dictate the at bat. And now, no, he's just very comfortable.
Told me earlier he struggled in San Diego because you were distracting him. So once he got away from you.
I tried to stay away from him not because I didn't like the kid, it's because I wanted to leave him alone. I didn't want to jinx him or give him any bad juju.
Everybody loves mud.
I don't know about that.
We know. 2 strikes on Medica. Outside on a breaking ball.
So before you left the hotel today, were you standing in the mirror practicing singing the song?
You got a hidden camera in there or something?
You were, all right?
No, I wasn't, honestly, no. But I tell you what, I've been laying awake at night before going to bed thinking about how the experience is going to be here. And, I'm excited. This is, to me, this is hallowed ground where we sit.
Here you go. Time for the stretch.
Hey, let's have some fun.
Joliet's Mark Grant.
Tonight's guest conductor for Take Me Out to the Ball Game, San Diego Padres broadcaster and Chicago native Mark Grant.
All right, let me hear ya, good and loud, all the way down to Joliet. Class of '81, Joliet Catholic is in the house tonight. Are you ready, Gary? A1, A2, A3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Orange root for the. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it. 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Hey, buddy, let's get some runs. And check out the guy in the sombrero. Holy cow.
Field this summer. The Budweiser patio gives you the chance to do all this in prime home run territory. Bring your best guests inside the ballpark this season. For more information and to purchase, visit Cubs.com.
My face hurts.
Here's Blaine Boyer and a strike on Bonifacio. That was fun.
That was how you do it.
Cubs leading 3-0. Nelson playing in. Lots of time, one away. I don't have to tell you how much that meant to Mark Grant.
Oh, gosh.
He was so excited.
I thought he would sing with his hairy glasses on, though.
Well, I think he's kind of easing in because, as he said, he kind of has the Uncle Junior from The Sopranos look. And we want Mark to sing, and Harry can do it next year.
And he probably wanted to
do the whole get-up.
He probably wanted to be able to see while he was doing it, too.
That was beautiful. Alcantara swings and fouls back. Pedro Strop is up in the bullpen. What a night for Kyle Hendricks. 5 hits, no runs. Nelson still in at third. Here's Boyer's pitch. That ball hit high in the air to right. Way back and gone onto Sheffield. Alcantara goes deep.
Oh, he's got bragging rights on Rizzo now. Anthony only went to the top of the bleachers. Alcantara leaves the ballpark. Ford home run replay. A grooved fastball hammered by Alcantara. Little waggle. No doubt about it. As soon as he hit it, he knew it'd be a leisurely jog around the bases. That's number 2 for him.
4-0 lead here late. Rizzo again. And he takes a strike. Boy, how nice is it not only to get the quality but the quantity out of the starter tonight.
Yeah, efficient early, and that really set the tone for Hendricks. 7 shutout innings through 83 pitches.
Cub fan from Anthony Rizzo's hometown, Parkland, Florida, out on the bleachers. Ball deep left center. Gone into the basket. Number 2 tonight. Number 25 on the year.
Back to back off Boyer. Second time in a matter of days that Rizzo has hit 2 home runs in a ball game. 2-seam fastball sliding away from him, and he just powers it out of here to left center. taking advantage of the friendly confines with that one.
Five now in 4 games since the break. Second 2-homer game since the break. The National League leader. So they go back to back here in the 7th. Outside corner. Big leg kick in the pitch. Slider misses low. Deep breath by Boyer. It's 2-2. They've gone to the bottom of the 10th in the Bronx. Rangers nothing, Yankees nothing. How about that? Chase Headley struck out as a pinch hitter in that game in his Yankees debut. And he's now playing third, so he's still in there.
That deal will be getting ripped to the tabloids in New York tomorrow because he punched out in that first plate appearance. What were they thinking?
Could be just a 2.5-month rental. Diving stop. Chris Nelson up with it. Throw to first. Out. What a play by Nelson.
Every inch he had in terms of reach, and then quickly to his feet to make the off-balance throw. Close, but it looked like they got him. A good look here.
Yep. Two down. Here's Ruggiano. And he takes a strike. Headley due to become a free agent after this season, so no guarantee he'll stay with the Yanks after this year. And they're expecting A-Rod to come back, right? At least he's planning on coming back.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that going to happen?
We'll find out. He's under contract. See, the Yankees still owe him a lot of money. I think over $60 million. 2-2 the count. They signed through 2017. Rifled the other way. Denorfi able to cut it off and keep Ruggiano to a single.
Yeah, I knew he said he had every intention of playing. I'm having a hard time fathoming that all working out. A-Rod in a Yankee uniform. With the nature of that relationship.
If you owe him $21 million in 15, $20 million in 16, and $20 million in 17, are you willing to just walk away?
I don't know.
I'm guessing no. We'll see. We won't know the answer for another.
Probably the desire is that he's broken, right? That his body breaks down and they're able to cash in on some kind of insurance policy.
He'll be He'll turn 39 in 5 days. So yeah, he'll start next year as a 39-year-old. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Castillo. Cued foul. But it would be very A-Rod for him to just come back and play another 3 years, right? Just his ability to.
Oh yeah, to kind of push all that aside, just go play.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he would have a big problem with all the turmoil that it would create. I think it would be more from the club's point of view that they would rather move on. But yeah, he seems to be somewhat immune to it.
Deep right center for Castillo. At the warning track. Ruggiano seems to be laboring a little bit around third. He will score. Cubs pouring it on here. A 3-run 7th inning. It's 6-0.
This is the guy I'm going to keep my eyes on in the second half, Wellington Castillo. He's shown signs here of turning things around lately, and boy, really good in the second half last year. And I don't know if this is Justin nursing something a little bit, if he thought he was going to be held up at third.
Two homers, a single, and a double here in the 7th.
Padre offense, it might as well be 20-0.
Rocketed foul by Lake.
Phils lead the Giants 5-4. They're in the 8th in Philadelphia. Hunter Pence has hit number 13 for the Giants. And Jimmy Rollins number 13 for the Fighters.
Two-team race, it appears, in the National League West. Padres coming in third place, 11.5 out.
How about these National League races, though? Atlanta game behind Washington for top spot in the East. St. Louis trails the Brewers. This is coming into play tonight by half a game in the Central. And Pittsburgh and Cincinnati just behind. And then Giants Dodgers deadlocked atop the West. Great stuff going on in the NL.
Boyer's 0-2. Lake stays alive.
One good week will get you from fourth to first in the NL Central. Pirates currently with an 8-7 lead over the Dodgers in the 8th. Boy, a lot of home runs in that one. Gonzalez, Van Slyke for the Dodgers. Walker, Davis, Polanco for the Pirates. Cubs, they also ran in this NL Central, but the other four clubs obviously right there in the mix for the division and or one of the wild card spots. Obviously, the more teams with a legitimate shot as the trade deadline nears, the better that is for the teams looking to move veterans for prospects.
Foul tip, strike 3 to end the frame. Back to back with one out. Alcantara And then Rizzo with number 2 tonight. And the Cubs lead 6-0. Presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. On site here at Wrigley Field, Cap and Holly will have Cubs post-game live right after the final pitch. And the Cubs invite you to take advantage of free remote parking and shuttle services on night and weekend games. The remote parking lot is located at 3900 North Rockwell. For details, go to Cubs.com. Well, I'm not sure if anything's wrong with Ruggiano or not. We can tell you he's out of the game, and Nate Scherholz is in, along with Pedro Strop.
Yeah, clearly something was bothering Justin. If it's a leg issue, possibly the heat, I don't know. But anyway, Scherholz is in there now, as is Pedro Strop, and he's on for the 37th time. He's got a 1-4 record of .303 earned run average. Kyle Hendricks, second major league start, a dandy. 7 innings, 5 hits, no runs, 3 walks, 5 punchouts. Take a look at Justin as he rounded first base.
See anything necessarily there. One and one on Venable. Bouncer to the shortstop, Castro.
Venable, one of the guys that's really fallen off this year. He had a bit of a breakout year last year for the Padres, so I think expectations were that he'd be even better this year, and just the opposite has happened. He's gone backwards. He had 22 home runs last year, just 3 so far this season.
Here's where I noticed it. Yeah, right there.
Yeah, a little bit of a blowout. Something bit him.
0-1 on Amarista. Late swing that time and fouled off to the left.
Hendricks going 7 tonight, able to give some guys a blow in the bullpen. So off day yesterday for the Cubs, 7 from Hendricks this evening. The bullpen really sets up nicely for the rest of this series.
Blew that one past him in 95, 1-2. Back with you tomorrow night here on CSN. Ian Kennedy, a right-hander against southpaw Tsuyoshi Wada.
Ooh, where was that one?
I don't know. 2-2.
Yeah, borderline high, I guess. At least I'm not a very big guy.
Quick pitch. Bounced foul. Two balls, two strikes. He struck him out. 2 away.
The depth on that slider to finish him off. This from a 95-mile-an-hour hitter to an 82-mile-an-hour slider.
Padres have already been shut out 14 times this year. Comes a 1-strike offering. Smith hits a grounder picked up by Bonifacio, and the inning is over. Bottom of the 8th. All Cubs tonight leading 6-0.
Photo of the game. Tweet your photo to hashtag Northside Fan Photo for a chance to have it appear in an upcoming broadcast. Brought to you by AT&T. Good looking family there. Enjoying a day at Wrigley.
Tim Stauffer is on here in the 8th.
Stauffer's made a handful of starts overall, 24 games, 2-2, 399 for the veteran right-hander.
They beat the Cubs 11-1 in San Diego on May the 23rd. as a starter. 5 innings, 2 hits, no runs. There's 1-0 to Mike Olt. Well, he put one in play, but he's now 0 for 4 as he grounds out to Chris Nelson.
No, I don't think he'll view that as a moral victory after 3 punch-outs. A weak ground ball to third. Tough night for Olt as Wesley Wright gets ready.
Well, the Players Alumni Association has announced Nate Scherholtz as the Cubs 2014 Heart and Hustle Award winner. Honors active players who demonstrate a passion for the game of baseball and best embody the values, spirit, and tradition of the game. So each team with a nominee. That soft liner is going to get over Conrad and into right. And a final MLB winner will be announced in November in New York City. So congrats to Nate.
A humpback liner. Conrad not able to retreat and haul in, so it'll go as a 1-out knock for Scherholtz.
Bonifacio chops one up the middle, and they'll get one, and that's it. Nice play, Conrad to Amarista.
Funky little hop there that Conrad has to contend with, and then he just leaves it. Little finger roll flip to Amarista for the out at second. Good night for the youngsters. Hendricks with 7 shutout. Alcantara with a home run.
In the air to left, fairly deep, but very playable. Smith's got it, and we will go to the 9th. It's the Cubs 6, San Diego nothing. Sit down. Brandon Marshall football camp. See all that and more on Sportsnet Central tonight at 10. Only on Comcast Sportsnet.
RBI Baseball is back with all 30 MLB teams in 2014. Players get the retro 2-button style baseball game you've been missing, much like your Blazer. Visit RBIGame.com for more details and download today on your console and mobile device.
I played Sherco. Did you play Strat or APBA? Or?
I played a little Strat. I played a little APB in baseball.
Hockey and basketball.
I'm not familiar with Sherco.
Yeah, a little company out of, I think, New Jersey, and kind of a similar deal to straddle, though they didn't have cards. They had more of a formula. Here's Wesley Wright against Yasmani Grandal. It's similar in that you'd roll the dice and come up with combinations and things.
Yeah, I remember as a kid, I had this most rudimentary of all baseball games. That's all you did. You just rolled dice, and on the board there were all the different combinations. 1 and a 2 was a single, and that's all you did. You moved little chips around the board. That worked when you're a little guy.
Oh, yeah. And a leadoff walk.
Dallas Beeler really good at AAA tonight. 7 shutout innings in a 1-0 win. 7 strikeouts, 1 walk.
Breaking ball, strike to Nelson. Yeah, we could possibly see Beeler at some point. And Straley.
My Cubs got just 2 hits in that game and won 1-0. AA club Tennessee, they're in a 7-7 ball game right now. Jorge Soler 1 out of 3. He's batting .406.
One, 2 off the plate in.
Soler gets lost in the shuffle a little bit when we talk about the prospects because he's been injured for a good chunk of the season, but he's been really impressive at AA.
He really has. They're trying to go around the horn. They do. 5-4-3. Another double play. That's 4 of them tonight. A season high 6-3, 4-6-3, 6-4-3, and now 5-4-3.
Kyle Hendricks with a ton of ground ball outs. Now Wesley Wright turns the trick. Around the horn they go.
Fans now standing 32,730. Rene Rivera pinch hitting for Gobert. Kyle Hendricks could get his first major league win in his second start. 1-1 fouled off, a strike away. Padres with only 5 hits tonight.
You said at the outset the key for the pitchers would be to keep the ball in the ballpark. Stoltz was not able to do that. Hendricks did it in a big way. A ton of ground ball outs. Only a couple outs recorded by the outfielders in this ball game.
Swing and a miss. Cubs win in shutout fashion as Kyle Hendricks gets career win number 1. He hopes the first of many. Contra homered, Rizzo with 2. It was a fun night.
Yeah, great way to start the homestand after being swept in Arizona. High expectations. This stretch of the schedule didn't go well against the D-backs, but a good start here tonight. Good performance by the youngsters. Alcantara with the home run. Hendricks 7 shutout. Rizzo doing what Rizzo does, hitting the ball out of the ballpark twice tonight.
Our GMC professional grade players of the game. We're going to go with 2 guys tonight, starting with Anthony Rizzo.
Well, there goes number 24. That was off Stoltz to the back of the bleachers. And like he did in Arizona the other day, one's just not good enough, so he shoots one to left field, left center, into the basket for his second one. That causes a dance party. Kyle Hendricks doing his own dancing out there on the mound. With that dazzling changeup, a lot of good sinkers, and as I mentioned, one ground ball out after another, and the double plays, 4 of them turned by the Cubs here tonight.
So the Cubs start a 10-game homestand with a 6-0 victory. And let's send it down to Kelly Crawl standing by with Anthony Rizzo.
What a way to start off the homestand. And Anthony, for you, 5 home runs in the last 4 games. I know we hear the phrase a lot, the game slows down for you, but describe how that's happened for you and what that means.
I don't know. Honestly, I'm just seeing the ball really well right now, and not taking my next bat over, not carrying over at bats and one at bat at a time, and just trying to have as much fun as I can.
Well, certainly that has to be fun. And to go back-to-back with Alcantara, what have you seen from him in just this short period of time with the team?
That was nice. That was a smooth swing he took. I went back and looked at his swing there. It was a really nice swing, and he's coming, he's playing, and that's all we could ask for him, and that's all we wanted to do is just play, not overthink, just come up, play like he was playing in AAA, and have fun.
Now, Anthony, I know this was a tough day kind of for everybody with Darwin Barney being designated for assignment, but in terms of the leadership qualities he gave this team, now for you to kind of step into that role, what does that mean to you?
Well, he was the best teammate I played with, most unselfish teammate, great friend, and it's not easy losing him. We all wish him the best, but I was just going to come in and play and have everyone else feed off of that. We have 24 other guys too that need to come and play as well. So as long as we're ready every day and be prepared, hopefully good things happen.
Hey, jokingly, after the home run derby, you told me you'd been taking notes. Did those pay off tonight?
No. It was a good night to hit here. I'm just worried about having good at-bats, really, and luckily they went out.
All right, well, keep it up, Anthony. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Guys, there you go. 5 home runs in the last 4 days. If he keeps that up, who knows what these guys can do the last couple weeks.
Thank you, Kelly. 25 on the year for Anthony Rizzo leading the league. And for JD, Kelly, and our entire crew, Len Casper from Wrigley Field with your final. The Cubs 6 and the Padres nothing. We're right back at it tomorrow night, 6:30 for our pregame coverage. Tyoshi Wada's back in the big leagues. He'll pitch for the Cubs. Coming up next, Blue Cross Blue Shield Cubs post-game live.